Stage 21 at Universal Studios at Universal Orlando Resort. It's total non-stop action wrestling Impact.
Everybody out there at home, welcome to the second ever episode of TNA WIPOD, where me and my pal Dan Griffin review old TNA wrestling. This week, we're getting into more of the first ever impacts on Fox Sports 1. We watched the first one in episode 1, and this week we've gone and watched the next three that were produced by TNA. So come on in, sit down, get yourself a nice cold drink, pop it open. So yeah, me and Dan here, we're going to talk about some TNA wrestling. We also talk about his trip to Portugal and a little bit about the World Cup. We talk about some Lionel Messi. So we hope you enjoy what we're bringing to you here with the new TNA podcast, and we hope that you're enjoying it. We're going to keep it going in the future, and then we hope you enjoy this one. So let's get to it. So yeah, we're back again like we'd never done this before, right?
Yeah, like it isn't the third time we've attempted this.
Last time I was going to ask you about this, but we were having some internet issues, so we tried to get right to the point. But we're starting over again. So Dan here, my friend, just got back from Portugal about, 3-4 days ago?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a hell of a trip.
You never been there before?
Yes. Yeah, I've been to the same exact city. Went to a place called Albufeira on the southern coast. Went there a few years ago for my brother's stag do, or bachelor party.
Bachelor party, yeah.
In your part of the world. Didn't see much of it apart from the bars that time around. This time around it was for a friend's 40th birthday, and I still managed to lose a day to hangover, which was quite impressive. But yeah. It was great. Saw some dolphins, saw some cool caves, ate some good food. I tried stingray.
Any good? I never tried stingray before.
Awesome.
Really?
Kind of, yeah, it was like a white fish, really meaty, not like real fishy smell to it or anything, but you cook anything in a good amount of oil and garlic and it's going to be fine.
Well, obviously, yeah. All you need is a little oil and garlic. Yeah, I saw some of your Instagram stories, and that cave stuff looked really fucking cool. And then seeing the dolphins, but like you said, eventually the seasickness has to set in, right?
Yeah, for the grandson of a Navy man, I do not have my sea legs.
That's funny. So we have that in common as well. I also am my grandfather was also in the Navy.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's kind of more reasonable for you not to have your sea legs, because isn't Nebraska like landlocked?
Yeah, we're like literally the dead center of America. If you look on a map and you saw the very center of America, that's exactly where I live. Yes, the only thing, you can go to the lake here or maybe a river, but you ain't gonna see the ocean. And the day you do see the ocean, there's a fucking problem.
Yeah. A friend of mine from Kansas, the first time he saw the ocean, apart from when he flew over it, was in the northeast of England. And he went to a beach that everybody else thinks is a complete shithole, but he thought it was beautiful because it was the first time he'd actually dipped his feet in the ocean.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your beaches sort of have like seashells or shells in them on the coast, and as opposed to sand. Most of them.
Some do, not all. Most have sand. The northeast of England, I was up in a place called Bamborough about 4 months ago. That was voted the 4th best beach in Europe. So it's not all seashells and shit that'll cut your feet open. Yeah,
I had a friend. I talked to him on Twitter, but as you know, Twitter's not a thing that I use anymore. So I don't know whatever happened to Ray, but he was also an Arsenal supporter. And I don't remember where he lived, but whether on the coast where he lived, there were a lot of seashell beaches that I noticed. But anywho.
I remember Ray. Big ass. Yeah, I think I know Ray. Ray_QUR or something like that. Big Arsenal guy.
Brickley, I think, was his last name. Bald guy.
I don't know his real name.
Yeah. I don't remember his Twitter @
well, before we get confused and things get too messy, should we get going on the AWI pod, TNA WIPOD, or do you want to talk about Lionel?
Well, I mean, yeah, I just turned off the. I was actually surprised Switzerland was able to keep it as close as they did with Argentina. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so was I, considering it was Austria.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Man.
That's what I meant. Damn it.
It's all good, man. They were playing in red. Who cares?
Yeah, it was basically how the American announcers equated it was it's like Manchester United versus Manchester City because you had the the white and sort of powder blue versus the red and white. Or Manchester City usually isn't red and white, but usually more red and black. But I thought that was funny that they equated it to
that. Yeah, they couldn't just say Austria playing in red, Argentina playing in blue and white. But Messi made history, highest scoring ever in World Cup finals games. He's the greatest of all time for me.
I don't know how you can argue at this point that he isn't. I know there's a lot of Ronaldo people out there, but like, dude's 40 and he's still like they have 5 goals the whole World Cup and he's fucking scored them all. That's incredible.
It's ridiculous. And the thing is, people will point to Ronaldo's number of goals because it's vastly higher than Messi's. But if you look at goals per game, apparently, I've not looked into this, so it might be wrong, but Messi could not score for another 2 or 3 seasons and still have a better goals per game average than Ronaldo.
Right. Yeah, and then I think if you looked into like assists too, I'm sure Messi has assists on loads more goals than Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was this case for most of his career, but Ronaldo now, he seems more like I need to score a goal and it doesn't matter if the team scores a goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he's chasing down 1,000 career goals, which would be like the first time ever. And don't get me wrong, Ronaldo's a great player, but if you want someone to drag a team over the line, be incredibly talented, and get a win at all costs, Ronaldo's your guy. If you want a guy to play as part of a team and to build a team around who will raise everybody else up, it's Messi.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, incredible. They win 2-0. He scores 2 more. He missed the penalty, which was incredible. When I first viewed it, I thought the keeper saved it. But then when I saw the replay, the keeper never even touched it. He just pushed it wide.
It happens. It quite literally happens to the best of us.
And you don't have to talk to me about fucking penalty shots. I'm an Arsenal supporter, so I know all about it.
Mate, I'm an England fan. Our history with penalty shootouts is not great.
We both feel pain. They play tomorrow, correct?
Yep. 10 p.m. GMT.
Who they got tomorrow?
Ghana.
So that should be interesting. I think Thomas Partey will actually get to play this time because it's in America where we allow rapists.
Yeah, I hear he's been offered a position in the Trump administration.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we got to have this guy. I need him. He's great.
Yeah, Canada and Mexico won't let him in, but good fucking God.
Yeah, I think it's in America. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they play because they're based in Kansas City. I know that much. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk more about football, I'm sure, next time we get together because the World Cup will be winding down by the time we get there. So hopefully England will still be in it.
He's hoping. I'd take an England-USA final.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it? We played each other, and me and Glenn actually had an agreement going that, and I would never agree to this now because I wasn't as big of a soccer fan or football fan as I am now. But Glenn agreed that he would start calling it soccer if America defeated England in the last World Cup. We drew 0-0, I believe. So nobody had to change.
I'll start calling it soccer the day the USA, wins a World Cup.
That is fair. I mean, at this point, this is our best shot since 2002. So, but we're not even out of the group. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Well, let's do it, Dan. Let's get into the TNA AWIPod. We decided last week after not last week, but last month when we reviewed the first episode of Impact that we would just go ahead and look at the next 3, making that almost an entire month's worth. And so now we're on to the June 11th episode of TNA Impact. It started with a little recap of AJ Styles defeating Kazarian for the X Division title at the weekly pay-per-view because there is a weekly pay-per-view in the middle of us watching the Impacts, but we're not watching the pay-per-views. We're only watching the Impacts. I did watch one match from the pay-per-view, which we'll talk about when we get to it. And then AJ Styles was then attacked by Kid Cash in Dallas. Also, AJ Styles will defend the X Division title against the former champion Kazarian tonight in a rematch. We started talking about this last time before the internet got wacky, but the ability of Don West and Mike Tenay to be able to recap what you haven't seen to catch people up is second to none. And I think we were both talking, praising them a bit about what they could do and how underrated that team was.
Yeah, they really weren't. And I was trying to say on the previous recording, Don West and Mike Tenay was a commentary team I didn't appreciate when I first started watching TNA. I think I was about 18. It was about 2007. And I thought Don West in particular was just the guy shouting in the corner. And Tenay was fine enough, but a bit on the dull side. I could not have been more wrong at all. Tenay is, in this era, just a master at keeping people up to speed, but just putting in nuggets of information that make it make sense and make anybody who might be viewing it for the first time or just coming in as a newbie feel instantly part of the action and up to date with what's going on. And Don West is a master salesman. He makes you believe it's real. He makes you believe that he believes it's real. What you're seeing there, it's legitimate competition, and it's the craziest thing you've ever seen. And I listen to these guys, and I'm sat there thinking, why aren't I watching the pay-per-views? They're on TNA Plus, and the answer is we don't have time. But I feel like I should be watching it, and it's crazy that it's working. 22 years later, they are just that good.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that because I did want to watch that. I was like, I want to watch the pay-per-views too. So maybe we talk about them. But then I'm like, I don't have time to watch the pay-per-views too. So I wish I could. I would always get to a point and then something would happen. I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have 3 hours to do this. So
no. I can barely keep up with current Impact. Never mind throwing in weekly pay-per-views too.
Yeah, forget about that. I can't even tell you the last time I watched any weekly wrestling show. Like when the WWE premium live events come around, I usually view them. But other than that, I watch a lot of old wrestling. Currently, I watch 2009 SmackDown, and I've started watching 1994 Raw and Superstars together because I love jobbers.
No, fair enough. Yeah, that's very on brand for this show, really.
Definitely is. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of recap every show, but me and you also picked out certain things from each show that we either liked, didn't like, thought was stupid, kind of like you and Rob used to do on the old Unbooking the Territory days.
Yeah, exactly right. Just bring up a little list, see if we agree, and just see where the whole sort of episode lands. The opening match for the episode 2 of Impact was Kid Cash versus Amazing Red. So you're starting off hot there. We've got an X Division promo package, Shane Douglas interviewing Dusty, AJ Styles versus Frankie Kazarian mid-show. That was the next matchup. We get a bit of a Jarrett promo package, then David Young and the Naturals, who I could not remember for the life of me, versus the 3 Live crew. A bit of promo after that for Monty Brown and D'Lo Brown coming soon. We've got Monty Brown versus Sonny Siaki. An AMW video package. And Team Canada versus Team Mexico was the main event. So it always amazes me how they managed to cram so much into 45 minutes. I think that's kind of the first thing that I wanted to pick up on, because I wanted to pick your brain on it. It's kind of a running theme throughout these first 4 shows for me. Just how much a Vince Russo produced TV show can fit into so little time, but it never once felt rushed to me. Did you feel the same?
Yeah, no, I do agree. I didn't feel like any of this was rushed. It felt like it was all well timed. All the video packages, I don't know who's in charge of doing video packages for TNA at this time. All the video packages are always really well done. Everything just seems to be moving seamlessly from one thing to another. There's not really a whole lot of things that don't make sense, which is something that really turns you off from wrestling. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. I don't think any of this was rushed, but they do manage to fit a lot of stuff into 45 minutes. Because a lot of stuff you just said, if you just ran that down to someone, they'd think, oh, that was probably an hour and a half show. It's like, no, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I just ran down a Monday Night Raw.
Basically, yeah, exactly.
But it's kind of something that I thought about listening to you and the Mayor on the main show, talking about Russo in 2000, and when we started talking about it the last time we tried to do this before the internet went screwy. One thing me and Rob found watching 2000 WCW was, and through the Attitude Era, that Vince Russo at his best produces good television. He doesn't necessarily produce quality wrestling matches. On particularly in the Attitude Era, so much of it was 4 minutes of wrestling. Oh, there's a run-in.
Yeah,
and that happens in WCW as well. Doesn't happen so much in this so far, but he manages to craft a world that revolves around that wrestling ring. And the connective tissue, all the video packages, the backstage stuff, all the connective tissue is there to make it feel like a world. I think they call it like a living world in some kind of more pretentious sort of storytelling circles. But that's one thing I always thought he really did. It's not something I was going to pick up on as one of the top three, but I just wanted to ask you, like I said, about that sort of the timing and the pacing first of all. And it's funny that you mentioned it because the video packages were in my top three things for this show as well. So we've got one that we agree on.
Yeah, I just thought every single video package did a good job of getting to the point of what they wanted you to know about it. The editing of it is really good, and I always say about all the time with WWE, like WWE even nowadays does a lot of things wrong, but the video packages are never wrong; they're always good. Yeah. And so always having good video packages is, I think, something that it's necessary for wrestling. Because, like you said, with the old WCW stuff, some of that stuff I watch, and they have video packages that don't make any fucking sense. Like, even the video packages don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
I think maybe the difference between this Russo and the Russo in Attitude Era WWE and as opposed to WCW is he still had someone who if he got too far out there would probably reel him back in, like with Jeff Jarrett and everybody, somebody would reel him back in a little bit. And I don't think in WCW he really had all the reeling back in as much as he did there. But at the same time, I think if you looked at Attitude Era WWE, I'm talking about like 99 or 98 through whenever he left, and then you looked at Nitro from that time, I bet you that the shows wouldn't be all that much different. The only thing different
really not.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus McMahon feud at the top at WCW. That would be the only difference, I think.
Yeah, they're really not. Me and Rob, like I said, with Unbooking the Tankatory, we watched a hell of a lot of that. And in the first season of UTT, we're looking at the highest and lowest rated episodes of, Raw and Nitro by bookers. And to quote the famous TNA promo, the numbers don't lie. Whenever Russo was involved in the creative for WCW, the viewing numbers either stabilized or increased. So, it's a narrative that doesn't hold water under analysis. That Vince Russo killed WCW. If anything, it was Kevin Nash's booking because that's when the ratings started to tank. But if you want to hear more on that, listen to the back catalogue of Unbooking the Territory because Rob tells it way better than I could. I want to go from something completely different to the video packages that we agree on. How good was AJ versus Kazarian?
That 100% best match on the show. I mean, and it was a shorter match. I think they only got like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah,
and it made you definitely want to go back to the pay-per-view and see what they did in the pay-per-view because I know these guys are going to have a lot of matches and are going to go on to have more. We're going to watch a lot of them, I'm sure. But it just made you feel like, yeah, this is great, but I'd like to see it go 14,
20
minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes,
25, exactly. 30. Yeah. As good as it was, it kind of brought home as well. One of the things for how it affects sort of Russo as well, I think, is the time constraint. Because the aim of these 45 minutes is to sell the next pay-per-view. And having AJ versus Kaz and it only go 8 minutes really does that. They went out there to give everybody a taste of what they could do and a taste of what we'd missed not watching the previous show. So, even if I don't know if people could go back and order it again to watch after the fact or what, but just so good. I did have a few spots noted down, but I don't think I need to say anything. Just go watch the match. It's AJ and Kaz. It's so good. Although Rudy Charles did distract me a little bit. He had a bit of the Bryce Remsburg. I can't remember the other ref's name in AEW. But the ones where they're completely overselling the action and
like Aubrey Edwards.
That's it, yeah. And your name was Aubrey, but the only person I could think of was Aubrey Plaza. A very different person.
Yeah, No, she does. Well, I actually haven't seen. There used to be internet memes all over the place for overselling everything. I don't know if she still does that.
Yeah, and then I realized that Rudy Charles is now in WWE to this day.
Yeah, no, he is a WWE referee right now. Yep, that's true.
And good on him.
And then AJ got beat up by Kid Cash in Dallas again after the match. I think they're setting up that for the next pay-per-view. It's going to be AJ. There's something going on there. I don't know if it's necessarily that match. I can't really remember, but definitely setting up something with Kid Cash and AJ too.
And that's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was definitely one of the things that I picked out from this show too. And that was one of the of all three of the shows. If I had to pick one, I think that would probably be the best match for all three of them. So, and how could it not be? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Did you have anything else to bring forward? Because I've only got one more thing, and it's kind of stupid.
So I had I enjoyed the last match, and also I just have a note from David Young, who teamed with the Naturals. He was currently on a 54 match losing streak. So
yeah,
not 55 because he lost this match. So I had the main event, which was the Team Canada, Petey Williams, Eric Young, and Bobby Roode versus Team Mexico. I didn't even put down. I didn't even know who's on Team Mexico. I just wrote.
It was Heavy Metal, Mr. Aguirre, who was Ese Rios, and Abismo Negro.
That's right. Yeah, no, it was a really good match. They always have one of these three, it's 6-man matches or multiple 6-man matches on the show. And I just thought this was really well done, nicely paced. I love Scott D'Amore on the outside of the ring as the chicken shit manager heel doing with the hockey stick. And so I just thought that was a really fun match. And it was fun to see all Ese Rios out there. Do you remember he was Aguilar too, who was in the light division? I think he had a match with Takemichi Noku at WrestleMania 14, I think.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I just thought that was a really great match.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. The only other thing I was going to mention was Monty Pounds. Yeah, just looked fucking brutal. It's funny you mention that though about the 6-man tag, because I actually wrote in my notes the post-match beatdown and the constant ringing of the bell that just went on for far too long. That reminded me of WCW. Just the constant ding, 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 as if it's going to snap them out of it like Festus.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, guys. He rang the bell 25 times. I think he means it.
Yeah, but maybe the 26th they'll do it. Maybe the 27th and the 28th. It's so stupid. And they stopped for a while and then decided to start again when Hector Garza came out.
But yeah, all in all, another good show. I didn't have anything else from that one. Did you?
No, I didn't. So, yeah, I think we can just agree that it was the video packages, AJ versus Kazarian, and just the general pacing of the show was really good.
Yeah. So then
Solid
we go
foundation.
to June 18th. Yeah, they go to the June 18th one. This is the go-home show, if you will, before the TNA 2-year anniversary show. So we had a 6-man international match to start the show. Then we had the Naturals taking on Sabu and Sanjay Dutt. And then D-Ray 3000 was squashed by Abyss, who was out there with Goldilocks. We had Mr. Aguilar taking on AJ Styles. We had Mike Tenay and Don West doing a great job of breaking down another upcoming pay-per-view. I thought it was funny that every time they would show Jeff Jarrett, they kept calling him the King of the Mountain, but he looked like he was dressed like a fancy waiter because he had like a waiter's
shirt. Yeah, it was weird. I think that's what passes for Kingley in Tennessee.
You know what? That might be right. I'm not sure, but that sounds about right. And the main event for that night was Eric Young taking on Ron Killings. What from this one did you think was good, bad, or indifferent?
So I've got my first what the fuck moment from this show. And it was from, if I can just find it in my notes here, I think it was the opening match. Yeah, the opening match. So the opening match was Michael Shane versus Chris Sabin versus Miyamoto versus Primetime versus Kazarian versus Hector Garza. But did you see the guy in the crowd with the mask from the Jim Carrey movie The Mask on his face?
didn't see that. No.
They cut to him, and he was there in full, like, green. It was the mask.
Really?
Yeah. It was completely bizarre. I've no idea why he was there. The cut to him, it was like a full-on prosthetic. It looked like a movie-quality mask, but it was more like the bad guy in it when he gets it on there. Was it Dorian somebody or other?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And they lingered on him for a long time, and he's there giving it like that. What the fuck?
Maybe he was a plant. Maybe he was a. I don't know. Did they have a new ride at Universal where they were plugging the mask?
I don't think so, because around about I went to Universal I think I went 2002. Because I went the year that Islands of Adventure opened.
Yeah.
That'd have been too early. But I don't know why they would.
We're talking about 2004. The mask came out in the 90s.
Yeah, it was like 96.
Yeah, so it was like right before this.
I mean, wrestling's out of date always. All wrestling companies are out of date. But the first thing that jumped out to me was in the mask.
I didn't even take note of that one, to be honest with you. I must not have been paying attention.
I'll find a screen grab of it and send it over.
I'll have to, I want to look at this terrifying individual with the mask on. So let's see. I thought the first match was fun. Sometimes these 6-man matches to me feel like, balls to the wall, just guys do moves to each other. But this one didn't feel much like that. It was Michael Shane, Kazarian, and Chris Sabin. Oh, it was just a 6-way match. So it was Michael Shane versus Kazarian versus Chris Sabin versus Elix Skipper versus Hector Garza. I'm a great broadcast journalist here. I put the Asian guy. I meant to go back and fix that.
Miyamoto.
Thank you.
I already ran them down, dude. You didn't have to do it again.
No, my bad. I didn't know that you did. All right. It's been a long time. Anyway, but yeah, I thought it was a good match, and it was like 2 guys starting the ring, and then you had to tag someone in for them to come in. So it wasn't everybody going at once. I thought it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, everybody got a chance to do a little bit. I think it was the one where I think Primetime got crotched on the top rope, and him and Michael Shane were having like a little face off, and Shane hitting the Rana to the outside was pretty cool. Hector Garza, how over is Hector Garza?
I know, right? Like he's one of the more over guys on the show, which you would expect, but yeah, people love him.
I think he's won on 2 out of 3 shows that we've covered now, and hitting the tornado, which just gets a pop every time. So it was different. It was cool looking. There was a lot of fun moves. Again, it was just over too quickly, which that's always a good complaint to have. Really, it means you enjoyed the match. So yeah, I'd go with that. I thought it was really cool to see Sabu. Just mad to have him there at that point. Just very odd decision to have him lose.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Well, even though Dutt took the fall, I get that they want to build the Naturals as like a homegrown tag team, and they want to have the Naturals versus AMW. I think it ends up being, but to put Sabu on the losing side when he's already one of the biggest stars in your company, I don't know. But Sabu got to do all his shit. He got to do all the stuff with the chairs, and he was still, doing the dives and the flips and the leg drops and all of that. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was a good match. The Naturals came out and they'd stolen AMW's ring gear, so they had wore it out to the ring. Apparently, there's this new security in TNA is Ron and Don Harris, of course, because they always have the there it is. So there they are. The Impact debut for Sabu. Yeah, it was fun, and I expected something to happen after the match, like him to beat up Sanjay Dutt or something and turn heel or something like that. It was just strange to me that they put him in this match, and because I get what you're trying to do with the Naturals, right? You want to build them up as your next big tag team, but I don't know if you need to do that at the expense of a debuting Sabu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think they kind of got things a bit backwards here. For the last show we praised how well everything was put together. I think in this instance they kind of got things a bit turned around, because we then saw a video package of all the stuff between Sabu and Raven. It's like, so why wasn't Raven like involved in costing Sabu the match? That would have been the way to do it. I mean, you know, hindsight's sorry.
Would have made a lot more sense, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm now more interested in what's going on with Sabu and Raven as a viewer. So, you know, give me a taste of that, and I'll buy the next pay-per-view. You know, all the backstory with the Sheik and stuff like that. It was just a bit strange. But I think Sonjay Dutt as well often gets forgotten. He was like an OG X Division guy. Spent so long without getting his flowers, without winning the X Division title. So he's always a good watch. I think he's a really underrated wrestler.
Yeah, he was just put in a bad spot here. Definitely, I do enjoy some Sonjay Dutt too. This isn't one of my favorite things, but the D-Ray 3000 versus this match is it was a bad day to beat him. I just noticed in TNA, they're not very creative with the female talent names. We've got Goldilocks. I believe there's one called Trinity. Everyone's got like a one-name thing. It was like Vince McMahon watched 2004 TNA and one day and went, God damn it, pal, we've all got to have one name.
Well, I think Goldilocks predates TNA. So she was coming in as sort of a semi-recognizable name anyway. The others, I don't know. I'd have to do a bit of digging to find out what went on there. But you know, we love jobbers on on TNAWIPOD. So I thought D-Ray 3000 might get a mention. I tried to look into this guy, and there is not a lot on him.
Well, he got his ass kicked by Abyss on this one.
Yeah, it's great to see, isn't it?
Davis, like you could drop him into any WWF Superstars episode in the 90s, and he would absolutely get his ass kicked by any 90s superstar that you could name, 100%.
He looks like he'd be part of PG-13 in Smoky Mountain.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that have been great? He could have been the ringer. That would have been good. Great. That's an awesome idea. I really like that. Did you have – I also had the Mr. Aguilar, AJ Styles match. I mean, obviously two great wrestlers. So
yeah.
Anything else on there that you had besides that? And then I also had I enjoyed the main event a lot too, because they did a lot to tell the story of the Ron Killings Jeff Jarrett match at the pay-per-view too during the main event.
Yeah, the storytelling in the main event was really good. The match itself was just a bit punchy kicky. Wasn't a whole lot going on. Eric Young and Ron Killings are both capable of so much more. It felt like they were wrestling like two guys who knew the match was going to end in shenanigans.
Right.
But yeah, I can't fault the storytelling. I did have AJ Styles versus Mr. Aguilar. Again, it was just AJ is already the MVP of TNA for me. Even just on these Impact showings, he's just so good. But I'd happily do AJ Styles and Mr. Aguilar Sabu debut and the storytelling in the main event as like the top three things to look out for in this show, because it was just so good. Even though I like Russo as, you know, when he's on form as a writer and as a producer and somebody behind the camera. I'm not the biggest fan of him on screen,
right.
But at least there was a narrative conceit to have him there. He is the director of authority, so he kind of has to be on screen, and at least it was kept to a minimum.
It all made sense.
Yeah.
Most you see him on TV and WCW, a lot of the times you were just like, well, you didn't really need him to come out here for that. But he seems more like an authority figure in TNA, and I don't know why that is to me, but it seems like he's more credible than he was in WCW, and maybe that's because he's not wearing a chain with a watch around his neck. But
yeah, he's not going around with David Flair. He's not trying to he's not trying to outwardly fuck over the top, one of the top guys like he did with Ric Flair. And ultimately, we only ever see him when there's a decision to make. So that, less is more kind of thing. Now we're sort of being conditioned at this point on Impact. If we see Russo, it's because something's going to happen. A decision's going to be made. We're going to find out something about a future show. And that's effectively how an authority figure should be booked. It's like back in the day, every time you saw Vince McMahon, you knew something was going to go down.
Yeah, no, I agree. So they did a lot in the main event. Russo comes out, talk about at the pay-per-view, if the guitar issues, there will be an immediate disqualification. Like, I don't know if people know this, but in TNA, if you get disqualified in your championship match, you lose the title too. So you don't get to keep the championship by disqualification. But they're saying that if a guitar issues, it will be an immediate disqualification, which is a very big part of the storyline going into this. So keep that in mind. So then we'll move on to the June 25th.
Oh,
edition.
Sorry, just quickly, the end of the show.
Yeah.
The end of the show, we didn't, earlier in the show, and then to end the show, we get the replay of Jarrett absolutely braining Dusty Rhodes with a guitar. It was a brutal shot, and fair play to Dusty for taking it.
Yeah, he did wallop him good with that, didn't he?
Yeah. So stank on it.
Absolutely. I think he was mad at Jeff Jarrett about something, I think, for that one. I'm not sure what it was. But so June 25th, we get a recap of what happens at the pay-per-view to kick it off. Amazing Red, Elix Skipper, and Chris Sabin take on Kazarian. How do you say that Asian guy's name? Nasawa?
So it's Nosawa and Miyamoto.
And Miyamoto. There's two guys. There we go. That's in there. We have a video package showing that Johnny Fairplay of Survivor is going to be at Impact next week. So we got that to look forward to. Monty Brown took on Irish Pat Kinney. Team Canada, Petey Williams and Bobby Roode took on AMW. We got some sort of coronation for Jeff Jarrett. I don't know. There was guys playing trumpets. Flashback him hitting Hogan with a guitar in Japan. A recap of the weekly pay-per-view. Then a video package about Jeff Hardy. So there was that. And then the main event was actually Abyss and Dallas taking on AJ Styles and D'Lo Brown, which is something we didn't mention on the last one. Dallas and Kid Cash started beating up AJ Styles after the match with Aguilar, and he was saved by his former tag team partner, apparently, at another tag team, D'Lo Brown. And I was very happy to see D'Lo Brown because I love D'Lo Brown.
Yeah, he's awesome. D'Lo's done a lot recently over in England with Telp, British Wrestling, and done bits and pieces here and there. They're doing something at the minute called the National Wrestling League, which is supposed to be like a mixture of wrestling and football. I think the idea is every match has a time limit, but every match is kind of like an Iron Man match. So each match has a score line, and there are teams of wrestlers that will face off against each other at every show. And D'Lo Brown is one of the player coaches for this event.
Cool.
They had a kickoff event just this past weekend, and one of the wrestling matches ended 4-3. One of the matches ended 1-0. One of the matches ended 2-1. So I think they're going to rack up the scores. Each team has a combination of faces and heels. Like I said, there's coaches coming in. I can't remember who the guest coaches are, but there's some. Like I said, D'Lo is one of the biggest American names. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll find out who they are.
I've got 2 seconds.
National Wrestling League. Take me to the profile.
Cool concept, though.
Yeah, it's like they're bringing in former football players. So Razor Ruddock, who used to play for Liverpool, he's coming in. Keith Gillespie, who used to play for Newcastle in the 90s, he's a guest coach. Kurt Angle. Sorry, I forgot. Kurt Angle is one of the guest coaches.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Godfather is one of the club owners. I missed all this.
I should have known that him and D'Lo are good friends, so that makes sense.
Yeah, this is kind of a crazy concept, and the more it's sort of played out, the more I kind of want to go to it.
That sounds pretty fucking cool. Yeah, definitely.
They're bringing in Luke Menzies, who was Ridge Holland. He's part of the Yorkshire team.
Oh yeah, Ridge Holland. But yeah,
Grado's involved.
Jeez Louise, they got everybody in this thing. That's pretty fucking cool. So I like the way we put this over a million times, but the way they recapped the pay-per-view with the video package, again, I don't know what the replay situation was like back then, but if you hadn't seen it, that would make you want to go see it. So I thought that was really good at the beginning of the show. They did a good job of building up if not Jeff Hardy will come. That kind of kept you interested through the show, even though you didn't see Jeff Hardy at all, but still gives you a reason to buy the pay-per-view. Maybe Jeff Hardy will show up.
Yeah, that was cool. I think one thing I'm going to take from what you said about the recapping, by the 4th episode, TNA have really found formula with the recapping of the previous pay-per-view, and then jumping in hot with an X Division style opening match.
Yeah,
it's instantly, here's what happened, here's why there's drama, and now we're going to chuck you into this 6-man tag with 6 of the most athletic guys you'll ever see, just to do some mad shit for like, I don't know, 4 to 8 minutes. Like, because at one point,
situations where they don't give you a chance to change the channel. That's what that's what it does. It shows you this great recap video, and then you get right into a physical, fast-paced match. Yeah, it doesn't give you a chance to change the channel.
Exactly. I think Sabin hitting a step-up enziguri on Kaz, and then changing that into a tornado DDT. It's crazy. And the Amazing Red hit a ridiculous dive like 4 minutes in. Yeah, it's just, I think one of the best things they've done so far in every episode is find that formula to get people up to speed and keep you watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every show, it's all easy to watch. I mean, I've watched stuff before that stretches that makes it hard to watch it, and it feels like it takes you all day to watch. But these ones just fly right by. You got any interest in Johnny Fairplay? You watch Survivor?
Absolutely fucking zero. I've heard the name. I don't know why I know the name. I feel like it's because he's some sort of prick.
I mean, I think so I do watch Survivor, but I'm kind of new to watching Survivor. I started watching it a few years ago, so I really don't know the history of this guy. If I talk to my youngest son, he's a big Survivor fan. He probably knows a lot more than I do. But it doesn't make me interested or care to want to watch the next week.
The best thing about the Johnny Fairplay announcement was the Microsoft word art on the graphics. That shit was straight off Windows 98. It was terrible.
My childhood, yes.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Not my childhood, but my 20s, my early 20s.
Yeah, wasn't great.
Yeah, what'd you have from this show?
Let me just go back to the bottom here. Match-wise, the standout was AMW versus Team Canada.
Agreed.
Just so good. Just any combat. It was so weird for me because I came in at a time when Beer Money was like the hot tag team. So it was Bobby Roode and James Storm. So it's always really weird to see them facing off against each other. But Petey Williams, Bobby Roode, great combo. Harris and Storm, again, just great combo. And it's as good as you'd expect it to be. That's all I can say about it. You know, again, I think we got a bit of a fucky finish with the Naturals coming in, but that's part of the storyline, so I don't mind. And I remember that it had like an insane Tower of Doom. And that spot is so played out nowadays. It takes something special to make me go, oh shit, you know, to stand up and take notice of a Tower of Doom. But they did it. They managed it.
Yeah, that's something you'll see in any multi-tag team match, person tag team match nowadays. You just have to get at least 3 tag teams in there to get them to do it, though. So they did it with only 4. Yeah. It was funny because the time limit also came into a factor in this one because it got down to where it was like a minute, like 90 seconds or something before the Naturals got in and got involved. So I again, with the time limits, I think that's just another good way you can finish to a match because you can look at that and go, oh, it needs to end quick because the time limit's gonna run. So I think the time limits are also a lot of fun idea and a great way to have another finish to a match. So, but yeah, I have really best match on the show, and I definitely had that in my top 3 too.
Even if Chris Harris nearly, don't know if you spotted it, but on the stalling suplex to Bobby Roode, Harris had hold of Roode's tights to the point that I thought the old flesh chandelier was going to drop out the ballroom, if you know what I mean.
I don't remember that, but I like the eloquent way that you described it.
Nice. I can't remember where I heard it, but I've stolen that completely.
Amazing. Yeah, the main event was really good, but I also liked the whole thing with Jeff Jarrett and Vince Russo and Ron Killings
Yeah,
with them
that
talking
was
about
mine
what's going
too.
to happen on pay-per-view. Yeah.
Yeah, Jarrett. I've spent a lot of time hating Jeff Jarrett, and it started out as a bit. Somehow, I worked myself into a shoot with it, and now I just have to kind of own up to the fact that Jarrett was just really good. He's such a shitheel. He comes out in these. Just looking at him with those white gloves makes you want to punch him in the face. It works on me. I hate him. I really do. I just want to punch him in his smug face when I see him like this. But the whole thing with the heralds and the trumpets, and there's nothing worse than when a heel has a good point. And when he's saying about Ron Killings using the guitar and stuff like that, it's like, oh, I hate that you're right. Are technically correct. And then I know that there was somebody that you were glad to see in this segment. You remember who it was?
Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Larry Zbyszko. Yeah, I was happy to see her. You're right.
I couldn't let this episode go by without a Brent Larry Zbyszko impression.
I do that all. I do bad impressions all the time. Check out another show if you don't. Yeah, this was all really good. I mean, I joke about Larry Zbyszko, but Larry Zbyszko was always mildly entertaining. WCW. I always thought that his feud with Scott Hall in WCW was pretty good. It was good stuff. Yeah. So bringing him out here, it's another legend for Jeff Jarrett to hit with a guitar, but it works. It was a good back and forth, and then they kept leaving you with the cliffhanger because now you don't know what's going to happen, and if you want to find out, you better order the pay-per-view. Yeah. So they're doing a great job of drawing you in there. So I just thought it was really good. And I think me and the mayor talked about the same thing that you just said. I always hated Jeff Jarrett too. Like, I think if you talk to most wrestling fans, like nerd wrestling fans like me and you and the mayor, we're all going to say we hated Jeff Jarrett. But now that you get older and you watch it, you can appreciate something more. You go, that's why. Because he was so fucking good at it. That's why we hated him.
And I hate that he was so good at
it. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That was great.
Those were kind of my top three, but I just wanted to shout out as well, Abyss and Dallas as a tag team. Like, if you had prime Abyss and prime Lance Archer as a tag team, you are looking at like a god tier big guy duo. They were so good. And but Delaney, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I did have to do a little. I've never say this to his face because he kicked the shit out of me. But did you see Dallas's little tramp stamp tattoo?
I did see that. I was wondering if he still has that, or if he got that removed, because that was something. Like you said, I wouldn't say that to his face because he would absolutely destroy me.
Yeah, it showed as well. Sorry, just on a different note, how big a deal AJ Styles is, because Abyss was bumping like hell for him. On the like the head scissor takeovers and stuff like that. It's rare to see Abyss taken off his feet, and only the top guy should be able to do that.
And I thought that, again, the commentary team did a great job of explaining the history that AJ and Styles and Abyss kind of already have together, putting over the fact that you shouldn't question why this little guy can beat the shit out of this big guy because he's already done it a bunch of times. So, Again, we'll put over the commentary team on this. It's really good. This has been a really good TV show to watch. It's been fun. And I'm looking forward to watching some more. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I think we should just go ahead and watch 4 more for the next show.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a batch of 4. All around, just loved it. And we end with a brawl on this episode again. Monty Brown and Cash are in this time. Abyss chokes out D'Lo. So, again, you're leaving it on a big cliffhanger. How are they going to get revenge on the pay-per-view? It is just all-around good TV and good wrestling TV.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I would have thought this all would have been a joke if you had told me about it in the actual 2004. But to go back and watch it now, it's actually really good stuff, really compelling TV. Always leaves you wanting more, and I can't wait to talk about more with you in 1 month's time. But it's been fun. 3 great shows. We'll watch 4 more. Hopefully, the level will continue. But yeah, Dan, do you want to get all your plugs in before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'll do it real quickly. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Dan Griffin21. It's usually mostly wrestling. Sometimes I'm traveling about. Sometimes I'm at the football, but I'll talk to anybody about anything. So come and give me a follow there. If you want to hear more of me talking about stuff, my other active podcast is the Doctor Who Pod. So that's at the Doctor Who Pod, at the DRWHOPOD, at the Doctor Who Pod. Come and find us on there. That is part of SJP World Media. The network's undergoing a bit of an overhaul at the minute, so just search for the Doctor Who Pod. Find us on there. And also on the volley occasionally, especially with the World Cup around. Myself and my strike partner, the magnificent Matt Lewis, when we're both available, we'll provide alternate commentary for football matches, normally Premier League games, but it's the World Cup, so we're going to try and do a couple of those and basically just take elite levels of sport and make it all about what we're going to eat at halftime and how drunk one of us can get.
It's always a good time on the volley. I quite enjoy checking it out when I'm not watching Arsenal games through my fingers like a fucking horror movie. But yeah, all that's great stuff. Check that out. Yeah, let me know when you're going to do that. Those World Cup shows. I always like to tune in for those. That's always a good time. And you never know. Sometimes Dan likes to eat hot chips. I don't think he'll ever do that again, but that was a fun time.
The one chip challenge video is out there somewhere on YouTube, but I did after an episode of the volley. Matt and Glenn were there to see it happen in real time, as was about 200 other people. It killed me. So never again.
The look on your face when the hotness set in.
Immediate regret.
It looked like it. That's exactly what it looked like.
It was, I've made a mistake. I done fucked up.
That's exactly how you looked at it, too. Yeah. Yeah, search that out. See if you can find it. Check out the volley. Check out everything Dan does. Give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok. It's at TNAWIPOD. Me and the mayor currently are watching Slamboree 2000. We'll be recording the final episode tomorrow. We're also going to do picks for the Saudi show that's this weekend. I think it's called Night of Champions. So tune into that. That'll be out. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. Go ahead, Dan. You say.
Au revoir.
There we go.